The pink triangle, the lambda, the color lavender, the words dyke and faggot, colored hankies, the rainbow flag. These are all symbols of LGBT lifestyle. They transmit a myriad of meanings from one gay person to another, relaying information which is part of the underground queer network that keeps our subculture alive. We use them as a kind of code language, a way of passing along information and symbolizing our identities. The symbols we use often come from the past and have a deeper significance than to broadcast "I am one too."
And a man can fall in love with a man, a woman can fall in love with a woman. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's not in the province of the law.
The need for a system of codes to identify other queer people is a reality. Members of the queer community are not immediately recognizable by sight. Since our culture is not one of ethnic heritage, we don't share common physical characteristics. We are also different in that we are not raised within our subculture, which limits our access to role models, positive feelings about our identity, peer support, and cultural information. Because of our isolation within a heteronormative world, we have a need to find and have contact with others who are like us, others who have gone through the same coming out process and view the world in a similar way, others who have the same thoughts and desires and face the same oppression. Since homosexuality still carries a stigma or in some countries is punishable by law, we are often forced to do our searching in a secretive way. Historically, the first step in entering the queer community is meeting another queer person, which can be difficult. Our first friend or lover usually acts as an invaluable source of information about our new world. From there, it is easy to discover the resources that are available. However, in recent years this has changed, with technology that made it easier to access organizations, publications, literature, film, as well as pornography. And through apps like Instagram and Grindr, we find people like us, and it's easier to become aware of gay neighborhoods, bars, or coffee houses. We soon learn what to look for to identify things, places, and people as queer. Our subtle ways of identifying one another are what link us together as a network, support system, and community, and this goes beyond borders. The use of symbols is a subtle way of making that needed initial contact with other queer people within a hostile society. We learn to make ourselves constantly aware of any signals or suggestions of queerness in our worlds. Wearing the emblems, using the correct slang, and going to queer gathering places are ways of identifying others and discovering positive role models, on the way towards building healthy identities for ourselves. Of course, many queer people never actually display these symbols themselves because they are closeted or view their lifestyle as a strictly private matter, or for others, it's simply too dangerous to do so. Historically, some of the most widely used and recognized queer symbols include variations of gender symbols as well as the pink triangle and the pride flag. It also includes style of dress, such as tattoos, colored hankies, bleached hair, or single earrings, or capturing a certain look, such as gender ambiguity, the Castro clone, or the leather queen. Queerness is also reflected in mannerism and the use of slang. We have developed intricate codes and language that operate within ordinary sounding language to convey information that members of our community can understand.
I speak my truth.
I speak my truth.
I speak my truth. My truth.
My truth.
My power.
I speak my truth.
These symbols have become more than just a way to label something gay. They embody a common web of information, of myths and values and ways of living that have themselves become part of queer culture, or what it means to be queer. Some, like the pink triangle, are consciously charged with significance on their own. Perhaps somewhere in our deep subconscious or race memory, we know instinctively what they mean and have emotional ties to them. At least we develop these ties through contact with other queer people, as part of learning what it means to be queer, by listening to stories, sharing queer art and literature, and coming to understand what it is that ties us together, the common experiences, insights, and philosophies that make us alike. The gay lifestyle is more than just loving members of one's own sex. The need to find other gay people is not driven solely by the desire for sexual relationships. In search for identity, we come to share activities, literature, role models, and processes. These provide us with similar backgrounds and sets of experiences. This sets the precedent for similar ways of viewing the world. Our connection to one another reinforces this. As we share information and learn from each other, we develop a common awareness surrounding issues which affect us, often leading to sociological or political activism. Our views are set apart by our position in society. We have crossed the boundary of our society's definition of our sex and broken major taboo. We have admitted that we are part of a group of people which queer, perverted, fags, dykes, lazies, pansies, homos, morphies, luti, shath, all terms with negative connotations, question every assumption and decided validity for ourselves. What is masculine or feminine? What is appropriate behavior? What makes someone a good person? What is fair and just in society, etc. Questioning each belief we hold causes a change in how we see ourselves and our relationship to the world. Welcome to the Arab Summer, a celebratory online place overlaid and in relation to physical space in Morocco that allows for marginalized groups, specifically queer people, to live lives which are otherwise prohibited. The Arab Summer is home to many functions that are not allowed in a physical city, so what are you looking for? Do you want to go on a date with me? Are you aware of Article 489 of the Moroccan Penal Code? I imagine that you're not. So here's what it states. Do you want to continue? If we're discreet enough, we should be safe. What do you like to do on a date? I'm either up for something casual or something adventurous, but let's keep it casual. So, somewhere discreet or a bit more social then. Either is fine really, but let's keep it discreet for now. Where should we go? The Medina is nice at this time of the day. The word Medina itself simply means city or town in modern-day Arabic. The Medina quarter is typically walled and contains narrow streets, fountains and mosques. The design of the Medina reflects communal values. Now, in the digital realm, this environment is given new meaning, making the invisible visible. It allows for functions not allowed in a physical place in Moroccan society, yet draws on real places and events. My work is greatly influenced by apps like Grindr, which is a place-based form of interaction, where GPS satellites track your location in order to reveal which other queer people, usually gay men, are in neighboring areas. In the past, the app has been used by authorities in Egypt as well as other countries to track and arrest gay men. But usually, Grindr is used to obtain sex or as a way to get to know other queer people in the area who might be interested in friendship, chat, relationship, right now, networking, and dates. The term right now refers to hooking up or having sex, so here goes. Are you over 18? To host basically means my place or yours, but I can't host and I don't expect you to either. So, where should we meet? Should we try to go somewhere illicit? Let's see if there's an alleyway close by. Oh, I guess we'll have to come back later. Let's try to go somewhere intimate then. Can you think of any other places? I think the hammam is a good mix between illicit and intimate. In the hammam, one participates in activities that offer a variety of connections, a broad association of sounds, touches, and smells. The imagination of this space offers the continuous experience. Seeing and being seen is one of its many attributes. The architecture of these environments that I have created are coded with a large underground network of communication and understanding of the queer community. It explores the intersection of the built environment with social practices and technology, and challenges histories and mainstream representation of daily life. The Arab Summer has been constructed through a catalogue of tangible and intangible objects and symbols, as well as a lexicon called Camp Notes on Morocco. I argue, as Susan Sontag did so long ago, that camp, the mainstay of gay stereotyping, and the domain of the homosexual serves as one of a myriad of implicit gestures to redefine place and even history. Queers have often produced camp or kitsch rather than articulate subjective sensibilities born of their sense of difference. Camp subverts the brutal heteronormative universalism of modernism. Under every patriarchal edifice was a shifting in queer true morphology. This parallel landscape has served as the lens and catalyst for defying both physical and phenomenological space.